What if the best AI tools for content creators could design your next presentation for you? Welcome to Gamma AI, the all-in-one AI presentation tool that builds websites, slide decks, and even visual presentations in minutes. In this Gamma AI tutorial 2025, I'll show you how I use Gamma AI for content creators to turn ideas into fully branded decks faster than ever. This isn't just another Gamma AI review. It's a hands-on Gamma AI walkthrough where we'll explore its presentation maker, its AI website builder, and how it fits perfectly into any creative workflow. After years of building brands with Canva and Adobe, I can honestly say Gamma AI is one of the best AI tools for creators I've added to my creator toolbox. It saves time, looks professional, and gives you the power to generate visuals that would normally take hours, if not days, in just a few clicks. Hi, I'm Jessica with the Real AI Agents, and today I want you to step into the network with me so we can discover all that Gamma AI has to offer together. So this is actually the first time I'm bringing Gamma AI here to the Real AI Agents community. And I have to say, it's one of those tools that completely surprised me. What started as a simple presentation generator a few years ago turned out to be this powerhouse for creators, marketers, educators, really anyone who's building in the digital space. Now, because this is my very first deep dive into Gamma with you guys, today's video is a little longer than usual. But don't worry, I've broken everything down into easy to find chapters. So if you're looking for something specific, you can jump straight to that section using the timestamps in the video description below. And if you're new here, welcome. If you find value in this breakdown, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with a friend who's also exploring the world of generative AI. And it really helps more creators discover these tutorials and keeps me motivated to keep bringing you the best AI tools out there. So if you really want to help, be sure you hype this video up too. All right, grab your coffee, open a fresh tab, and let's get into section 1, where we'll start with the basics: how to prompt inside Gamma AI and understand its core function. All right, let's start with something simple. Let's hop into Gamma and watch how fast Gamma can take a basic idea and turn it into something professional. So all I'm gonna do here is come over to the Create New AI here. And for this particular task, I'm gonna choose Generate. Don't worry, we're gonna be taking a look at all of this stuff in the video, so just hang tight. But here we go, we're gonna put in one simple prompt here to create something real life use case. This could be used for a lot of different things. If you're a real estate guy or girl, or you're an investor, or you're just interested in how you might accumulate some wealth throughout your life and you're a Gen Zer, this will be great for you. I'm going to create a 10-page investor strategy guide for Gen Z real estate investors who are just getting into property investing. Keep it modern, motivational, and full of short, practical steps. Watch what happens when I hit Generate Outline here. It's going to use AI to come up with what topics I want to hit on each of the slides throughout. So you can come through and you can check those out as it's creating those here. And you can see it made 10 cards. I can add cards if I would like. I can do breaks in the cards. You see all of those things here. We're going to be getting a little bit deeper into prompting here in just a minute, but watch how easy this is to create. So all I need to do is decide whether I want there to be minimal amount of text, a concise amount of text, a detail amount of text, or an extensive amount of text. Investing in real estate is pretty detailed when it comes to things you need to know, so we'll go ahead and go with detailed on this one. Then we get to pick our theme here, so you can see there's 6 options that it's giving us right away, but we can always choose this view more here. And I'm going to teach you how to make some custom themes here later on in the video, but for now, let's just go with this template right here. I like this one. I think this will work well. So I'm going to select this theme. You can see down here that that I can choose whether I want automatic decision on which images will be used as far as whether they're AI or stock or web images. I can choose stock photos, web images, AI creations, illustrations, animated GIFs, image placeholders, don't add images. So what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to leave it on AI images. This is an AI channel after all, and I've been teaching you guys how to make AI images, well, for a few years now. So I'm going to go ahead and let it auto select the model, but you can see here all of the different models in one place. Just think of how valuable that is as far as being able to use these inside of here without having to make your images somewhere else and bring them in. So I'm going to let this one's auto select which generator it'll use for each image. And I'm not going to put in a custom style prompt there. This is just plain and simple. If we put in that one sentence and we choose these things, what we're going to get. So we'll go ahead and generate that here. And you're watching in real time how quick this is going to generate this. I won't real time all the rest of the ones that it generates here, but so far in all of my usage on Gamma, it's never taken more than about 4 minutes to put together an absolute long presentation, which could be up to 60 slides for me. There you go. In just a few seconds, it builds a complete investor guide with formatting, visuals, and logical flow ready to edit or present. This is the power of starting fast. So as I come in here, everything is going to be customizable. We're going to go over all of this stuff as we get deeper into the video. But for now, since I've shown you a real world use case, let's get into having some fun with this tool. We're going to make a 12-slide product marketing presentation for my investors about a new digital stylus that doubles as a magic wand to project holograms. Include sections for target audience, pricing model, and market launch plan. Now notice I'm not giving it any details about the pricing model or the target audience or the market launch plan. So let's go ahead and see what we get here for the outline. And I like this prism for this one. We'll go with that. Now this one's completely fictional, obviously, but look at that. Gamma builds the entire investor pitch for the Holo-Wand stylus, our futuristic magic wand meets tech product, complete with market sections, visuals, and structure. That took maybe a minute. And there we go. You can see some of the images need a little bit of work, but I can come in and change those around, generate new images right inside of here, simply by using this edit with AI. Or I can choose the image directly and come over here, change the prompt, change the art style, give it some keywords. I can choose which model I want to use to generate it. So let's say, for instance, here, I want this to be a photorealistic image and I want it to use, you guys know I'm all about that flux. So let's go ahead and go with the Flux Context Pro here. And I just want one image. And you can see I can generate right inside of there until I get an image that I like. So that's better. She at least doesn't have 5 fingers, but still not exactly what I want. So I can keep generating until I find one that fits in there nicely. Or I can change the prompt altogether. And if that still doesn't work, I can enhance the prompt until I like the output. And Gamma doesn't stop at presentations. You can even use it to design full web pages. Let's go with this one for our visual template. There it is, a clean, responsive website layout complete with product sections and call to action buttons. And all I have to do to publish the site and be able to track the analytics is publish site here. If I want to preview it, there's a preview button where you can see exactly what is on here before you publish your website. You can edit everything as you go once you leave the preview mode. Now, all of those were quick prompts and they work beautifully, but watch what happens when you take that same concept and give Gamma a fully structured professional prompt. Now, notice in this prompt how I'm giving it direction as to how I want it to have the tone in this presentation. Along with that, I want it to be 15 slides. I'm giving it the objective. I'm giving it my target audience. I'm even giving it the slide structure that I want, along with the design theme, the tone, the content guidelines, the visual guidance. And then there are things that I can actually embed in here. I'm going to show you that in just a second. So I'm asking for it to put some placeholders. And you'll notice that when I put in this long prompt here, this more professionally laid out prompt, it's going to give me this magic edit prompt at the bottom here. So when I click that, we're then going to see it take my prompt and put it into how it needs to be put together inside of Gamma here. And I can either do it card by card or I can do it free form. And this is for a presentation to the investors. So let's go ahead and make this one extensive here with a lot of information instead of detailed. We can see that it's taken from that prompt who the objective is that it's writing for and the tone that it should take. We also have the option to do the output language here, so you can choose any language you want to have your presentation produced in that language. And for this, let's go ahead and let's say we want everything to be a high-tech cyberpunk feel. And we'll go ahead and grab a theme in here. Let's go with electric. And you can see that it's marked for 11 cards here, but we actually want it to be 15 cards. So if we come back a step, we can come down here to the bottom and we can bump that up to 15 cards. And then we can go ahead and generate here. So altogether, this was created in about 2 minutes and 45 seconds here. So if we take a look, it's got 15 of the cards here. It covers everything we asked for in the prompt. It breaks down the vision, what problem we were solving. It explains a little bit about how it works, the technology behind it, the market opportunity, target audience, product features, why we win in the digital stylist market here, product design, marketing strategy, revenue model, financial projections, product roadmap, investment ask, and invest in the future with the call to action here on the last screen. So if I wanted to share this the way it is, I could come right up here to share, and I could either collaborate with someone inside of Gamma, I could share it publicly on the internet through a link, or I could download it to export it to maybe do some post-creation editing here, or I could embed it on a website or a domain of my own, or I could publish it to the site. I can also present inside of here in a presenter view with my own notes, or I could present in this tab or on a full screen here. Now you can see that by not just giving it a short, simple prompt, giving it more details on what I actually need, I'm giving it a role, a goal, a target audience, and visual direction to end up with something like this. Here, I'm specifying the objective, who it's for, and the exact slide structure I want Gamma to follow. I'm also setting the design theme, color palette, and even the font choices, down to the Ovatron bold for headings and intermedium for body text. Now watch this. Gamma doesn't just make the slides anymore, it makes a storyboard. Every section flows logically, the tone matches the audience, and the visuals align perfectly with the brand aesthetics I described. See the difference? The first prompts were quick and they worked, but when you give Gamma this level of detail, it builds something that looks like a real investor deck straight out of a creative studio. That's the power of prompting with intention. Now that we've seen how Gamma can build and style projects automatically using your own PDFs, brand themes, and uploaded files, I want to take a moment to talk about something that I think a lot of us, especially creators and marketers, really feel right now. Sometimes it's hard to let go of the old way of doing things. We've spent years designing, writing, and building everything by hand, and suddenly here's this AI that can do it in seconds. So, in this next section, we're going to meet right in the middle, where your creativity and AI's capabilities work together. I'll show you how to create completely custom gammas starting from scratch without having AI generate the content, but still using it in fun, smart ways to enhance your work. Because the truth is, AI isn't replacing creative direction, it's amplifying it. And when you understand how to use it intentionally, you stay in control of the story while still saving time and unlocking new design possibilities. Now that you've got a feel for how prompting works inside Gamma, let's take it one step further. Because what really makes this tool powerful isn't just how fast it builds presentations, it's how easily you can make them completely your own. So if we come in and we go to create new here, and this time we do import file or URL. So I have this file right here that I'm gonna upload. And if we take a look at it, you can see it's just got the name of the product, the logo concept, the color palettes, the typography, the brand keywords, the design aesthetics, all of that kind of stuff on that document. But you can see now it's been uploaded. So I can decide if I want to turn it into a presentation, a web page, a document, or a social. I want this document just cleaned up a little bit and made to look a little bit nicer here. I can go to document, I can hit continue, and you see that it is pulling in the prompt that it wants to have here to create that document. And all I have to do this time is let's go ahead, we'll go with this new template here for Coral Glow before I show you the custom templates. And you can see I have it locked up here on preserve because I don't want it to create its own copy for these things. I want it to match exactly what I had on my PDF. So I can go ahead and generate that. And you see there then, it is cleaning it up, giving me a whole fresh design on the presentation for my brand here. Much less boring than just the PDF that I had created in Google Docs and was using. So a lot more detail, a lot more information, but still kept everything how I wanted it as far as what I wanted to be included. Now, if I want to create my own theme, I can come in and I can do an edit theme here. I can either do it directly inside of the design if I want to change the theme of this design, or I can come back to the home screen and I can come over to themes here on the left-hand side toolbar and I can create a custom theme. So you see I already have one here, but let's go ahead and create a new theme. And you'll notice you can either upload your PowerPoint or your Google slide that you have already made with all of your brand information and settings, or you can build a theme from scratch. So let's go ahead and build a theme here together. You've got a couple of options for the ones that are already in here that you can take a look at, but what we're gonna do is hit this customize button right here, and you can see that it gives us some color options, it gives us some text color options, it gives us the background color, it gives us all kinds of things that we can do with the colors here. So let's go ahead and bring in those colors from the fictitious brand that we started here. First things first is the primary accent color. So we can choose whether we want it to be a solid or a gradient background on the color here. We're gonna go ahead and just do solid. I'm sure after watching this video, you're gonna wanna get in and play with it for yourself. So experiment, have fun, create your templates. It will make things much faster in the long run if you go ahead and set up your brand templates right from the jump. Let's go ahead and take that information from the setup sheet. All I have to do is input my hex code color there, and you can see that now that color has been changed. This is so that you get an idea of what you're changing when you look over on the right-hand side here. Now let's go ahead and add some other colors. So we've got our brand colors in under the theme palette now. Now we get to choose our text colors here. So we have a heading color and a body color. Okay, and now that we've picked which of our theme colors we want to use there, we're set to go on to the background. Make this background the gray color here. And then you'll notice that you can add a page background image of your own if you would like. So you can either bring in an image that you've created that you want as a background. So that could be something like a black screen with your logo in the corner, or you can use any of these other options here. I'm not going to do that right now though. And then you can pick your fonts that you would like over here. You also have the option to upload fonts that you want, but let's go ahead and we'll just do Overpass here. So for the next part of the design, you're looking at the full card here to see which of these styles you like best for the card itself. So I like this blocky drop theme with a color outline to it as the effect, and I like the way that it's the 90-degree angles instead of the curvature of the capsule here. So let's go ahead and choose that one. And then I can actually bring in my own logo. Okay, so I had chat create just a random logo with a transparent background that I could use here. And all I need to do is drag it in and drop it off there. Once it uploads, you will see it is added to the presentation template over here. So now I can go ahead and hit continue, and then I can give this theme a name. So we'll call this the Holo-Wand here, and we'll go ahead and hit finish. So now I've got that as a template that I can use with anything that I decide to put in as a prompt. So if we come back to Gamma here and we come to create new, this time let's go ahead and generate one here, and it's gonna say I need a marketing portfolio with 10 ways to market the Holo-Wand in a pre-order way before the product release. The core demographic will be to teachers and marketers interested in high-tech generative AI. I'm going to go ahead and generate the outline here using the AI built into Gamma. And again, I'm going to put it on 16:9. And now that I have 13 cards here, I'm gonna go ahead and tell it I want it to be detailed. And this time I'm going to hit view more on the themes, and I'm going to come over to the custom, and I'm going to grab that custom theme that we just made together and select that theme. Now this time, instead of letting it select the model, I want them to all be pretty uniform. So let's go ahead and let's use Flux Context Pro here for the AI images. And then now all I have to do, and voila, we have now our presentation using our design template with our brand colors, our brand logo down at the bottom of the presentation, and all of the information that we wanted to be included in this presentation. That fast, that easy, guys. Like, seriously, mind-blowing. Let me know in the comments what you can see yourself using this tool for in the future. So this time, instead of create new with AI here, I'm just gonna come over to new Gamma. And you can see we have the same options: document, social, or web page. Let's go ahead and we'll do a presentation for this. We'll go ahead and we'll do a traditional. And you can see now I've just got blank cards. Now I can design this presentation for myself, just like I have in the past using tools like Canva, Google Slides, PowerPoint, you name it. It's all the same when it comes down to it. They're all builders for the presentations. So I can come in and I can give it a title here, something like, what is generative AI? You see I can do everything up here with the font, the layout, the links, everything I could do in any of the other generators. I can decide the size, I can change the color, I can make it bold, I can make it italic, I can underline it, all of the things I can do in here. I can also visualize this text. So if I hit that, we can see then that it's going to create an AI image that goes along with that text. Pretty cool thing there. I can also come over to the side here, and I've got all kinds of different layouts that I can do. I've got different items I can choose from: to-do list, block quotes, 4x4 table, 3x3 table, numbered list, info box, note box, caution box, a button, a toggle, a code block, a math block. I mean, there's so many options inside of here, guys. It is mind-blowingly amazing to be able to do all of this in one place. I can add my own images. I can upload an image. I can do a web search. I can create my AI images. I can use Unsplash images. I can use GIFs. I can use pictographic illustrations. I can find the right icon. I can get a more modern icon. I can use a QR code. I can accent my images. I can create a gallery. So let's say I want to do a gallery here, and I want to add some of my AI Elixir images. You guys have seen these before. You know what they are. So I'll just drag them right on in here. And look, we've got our AI images all here in one gallery on the slide. If you look here under the Smart Layout, you can see all of the different options you have for the layout on each screen. It's a lot. I'm not gonna go through every single one of these, but if you guys are interested in learning more about Gamma, let me know in the comments and I'll continue to do videos like this. I use this as a tool personally, myself, and professionally, and if it's something you're interested in diving deeper into, I'm happy to do that. You'll notice also that under this new button here, under the Smart Diagrams, there's a ton of options for smart diagrams in here. So if we add a new card, just add a blank card here, and we come over to the Smart Diagrams, we can just start pulling stuff in here. And you can see, for instance, with like the puzzle here, you can change the colors. There's so much customization that is available inside of here. It is amazing. You can make this say anything you want it to say. If you're not sure what to say, I highly recommend using Chat or Claude or Perplexity as a backup to help you determine what you need to put on your slides. But there's all kinds of different things that we can add onto here. Different ways of mind mapping, brainstorming. You can also do charts or graphs or even calendars inside of here. Line charts, donut charts, you name it, you can do it. So if we come in and let's add a weekly calendar here. You see that we can put in the dates. Let's say, you want to drop your product on a Monday and you want to follow up with your team on how that product is doing throughout the week. You can create your calendar right inside of here using all of these tools here. And then it can be a part of your presentation there. You can also add media. So you just saw me do a gallery here, but you can also add a video or an audio. You can use your own YouTube video links in here. You can pull something from your drive. You can take it from a website. You can use a tweet, an Airtable. All of these things can all be brought directly inside of your presentation here. So for instance, let's say I want to add one of our YouTube videos here. All I have to do is take that URL, pop it right in there, and you're gonna see we get the title, the description, and then it goes to YouTube. And it's that easy. Now my video is embedded either on my website that I'm creating inside of Gamma or my presentation that I'm creating inside of here. You can also create your own AI animations inside of here by, let's go ahead and do an image, and let's just create an image of, I'll just take this random prompt and put it in that I have here from my last video, and we'll make it photorealistic. We'll do 4:3 on the size, and we'll change our image count to just 1 here. So let's go ahead and we will just go with the Flux Pro again. So we'll leave it here on Flux Pro, and we'll generate that image. And now that we have that image generated, if we click on the image inside of the card here, we can see that we have some options up at the top of the editing with AI. So if I come into the image here, I can do things that are suggested here, like removing the background, upscaling, vectorizing, but you'll see right here that I can also animate it. So if I hit animate there, you'll see that the agent starts working over on this side. It's a lot like Pixverse's Creative Agent, where you kind of tell it what your idea is and it takes that and adjusts it to what it needs to prompt it to be able to properly do it. So we can see here that it's working on animating that image. Now, using the agent does take credits. We haven't talked about credits yet, but we will here soon. The way you can see how many credits you have are by scrolling over your profile up in the corner up here. You'll see your credits down here. We're going to talk about pricing and credits and all that stuff at the very end, right before we wrap up the video. So stay tuned for that if you're interested in knowing more about that. Okay, and there we go. I didn't give it an animation prompt, so it kind of just picked what it wanted to do. So it's making her sing while she's crying. It looks like radioactive tears, possibly. But you get the gist. You can animate your own AI images inside of there, which I think is pretty freaking cool. And you can see that it did use a couple of my credits there. I can continue editing any of the things I want using the agent over here. So the last thing I'll show you on here before we talk about pricing and then we wrap up this video is right down here where you see embed apps and web pages. So you can embed files into your presentations and websites here. If you want to attach a PDF or a CSV file, you can embed other gammas. So if I click embed here for the gamma, I could put in one of my own gammas. If there's an Instagram post I want, I could put in an Instagram post, something from my Google Drive, a tweet. You can also use the tweet here if you want to share a tweet. So if I come in and I just share one of my old tweets, I can put that right inside of here. And you see that then my tweet has been embedded right directly into my presentation here. So I can share that directly from Twitter or X.
Begins to change. They're singing from the shore, voices sweet.
And I can even share from inside of this presentation if I wanted to reshare this link. You can use Airtable, which if you follow the channel for a while, you know that is one of my favorite tools. I will link that in the description of this video. That is how I stay organized on everything AI that I do. You can also embed forms, buttons, Airtables, your calendar, Typeform. Any of these things can be added into your presentation. So easy, so fast, so user-friendly. And to help you get a feel for what all you're capable of doing inside of Gamma, I did put together a Gamma for you, and I've shared the link in the description of this video. So if you like to read through things and you're less of a visual learner and more of a read it and know it kind of person, that is linked down there so you can check that out. Real quick, let's talk about how much this amazing tool cost. You can see that I use the Pro monthly here, and that gives you 4,000 credits a month plus the 400 free credits that you get to use this. And then you can also buy more credits if you need them over time, and your credits will roll over up to 8,000 max. So if one month you're not doing as many presentations or websites, and the next month you maybe get 3 or 4 orders for different design work, you have that ability to have that as a rollover in here. Now, if we look at the pricing, you can see that there is a discount if you go with an annual plan. So on the annual plan, you're paying $18 a month for the Pro. On the monthly, you're at $25 a month. So decide whether it's right for you to go for a whole year or month to month. There's also a tier below that you can start using the tool with that is very affordable, coming in at $8 annually a month or $10 if you go month to month. Very affordable when you consider what you can charge to do this work and the time and money it saves you as an entrepreneur yourself if you're putting out your own marketing or product guides or whatever it is that you do for work. This is a handy tool to have. Well, that's it for today, guys. Thanks for spending some time with me today. I hope that you learned something. I hope you're inspired to go create some gammas of your own. If you have something you're interested in knowing more about, or if you want me to make more gamma videos in the future, let me know in the comments. My name's Jessica with The Real AI Agents, and as always, keep looking towards the future.